Hello everybody, this video is sponsored by Myth of Empires and its early access release on November 18th. Myth of Empires is a multiplayer sandbox game that really emphasizes freedom. Players will fight to survive in this kind of war-torn world. They'll build fortresses, lead armies, siege cities, siege, fortify, you know all about those words, and create your own major empire. The game's sandbox is really authentic, providing lots of different ethnic groups and representation from those periods, as well as having all these kinds of tools at your disposal, like crafting weapons, armor, making medicine, food, hell, even wine. There's a separation between PvE and PvP servers, allowing these different worlds to either be more dedicated to the building and creation aspect, or if you want to just kill other people, have at it. There's a major RPG experience, including a talent and skill progression system, and a massive NPC system as well to provide unique and varied people to recruit and even train. Overall, Myth of Empires is looking to be one of those highly customizable, do whatever the hell you want kind of games, and I think that you should absolutely check it out in the description and go through the link to support my channel. Thank you very much, Myth of Empires, for sponsoring this video, and let's get on to the zombies talk. Hello everybody, my name is Bricky, currently experiencing explosive diarrhea from this UI design. I haven't been particularly silent when it comes to my thoughts on Call of Duty Zombies. Been a lifelong fan since World at War, made a video talking about the epitome of zombies, I believe to be Black Ops 3, made a video about Cold War and its pretty good gameplay but pretty mediocre story and setting, and I even talked a little bit about it during the art direction video and the importance of good art direction in your game. So Call of Duty Vanguard has a zombies experience again, and therefore as a zombie simp, it is my duty to go ahead, pick it up, and try it out and see, is it worth your time? Now, I sit before you and tell you that Call of Duty Vanguard Zombies is arguably the worst zombies experience I have ever played and is an insult to the $60 I spent on the game. But Bricky, $60 has got the campaign and multiplayer and not just zombies. Fine. It's an insult to the $20 I would have spent on this game. I wouldn't spend $10 on this game. I wouldn't play it if it was free. My first run lasted about an hour and 10 minutes and I was bored halfway through it. On my first run, I was bored. Like, all of this sounds like hyperbole. I know, all of this sounds like I'm trying to really fluff up my title and fluff up all the things I'm saying because I really want to get that good, sweet YouTube ad revenue or something. But I don't joke when it comes to this kind of stuff. I truly believe Outer Wilds is one of the best sci-fi games of all time. I truly believe that Darkwood is one of the best horror games, with no jump scares, of all time. I believe Frostpunk is one of the best city builders out there. I believe that Back 4 Blood's progression system is stupid and an embarrassment. And I truly believe that Call of Duty Vanguard Zombies is the worst experience of COD Zombies ever made. It is worse than World War II Zombies. It is worse than Black Ops 4. It is worse than Exo Zombies. I would rather play the Burger Town map on Exo Zombies than jump into this more. That is not hyperbole. I legitimately mean it. And I know you want me to tell you why. Okay, I'll get started. First things first, let's talk a little bit of technical, right? Look behind me. You see this UI? What is that UI? How much stuff do you have to fit on a screen for zombies? Cold War didn't particularly have a great UI either, but compare these to Black Ops 3. Hell, compare them to Black Ops 4. I've always shit on Black Ops 4's UI for being just terrible. I would take that over this. There's so much stuff on screen. Okay, let's talk technical. First things first, the zombies will sometimes just ignore you. They just stand there. I guess they're guarding something sometimes, and then sometimes they aren't guarding something and they just don't even know you exist. The gun sounds range heavily. The shotgun sounds pretty good. But compare the World at War PPSH to this PPSH. I started super sprinting with this weapon and I could barely see my screen. The huge amounts of muzzle smoke made it impossible for me to see in front of me when firing this weapon, and the sound effect change between indoors and outdoors is horribly jarring in this particular section of the map. The salvage icon on your HUD is different than the salvage icon on the crafting table. And look at this Thompson. That's not even a technical problem. Just what the fuck is that? Oh yeah, you can't pause in single player. It doesn't pause your game. So we're off to a good start. Gameplay. So what do you think Call of Duty Zombies gameplay? You assume endless waves, right? You load in, you get a certain amount of zombies at a low speed, you kill them all, when they're all dead, next wave comes, etc., right? Well, that was just a little too fun. So we don't have that anymore. See that marker up there? That is not waves. That is objectives completed. How about the hunt for the power switch, right? Opening up a bunch of doors, get to the power switch, everything turns on, that kind of stuff. That's gone. There's no power switch. There's also no doors. You don't spend any money to open up any doors or barricades or anything. Pack-a-punch, for example, oh, it's already there. It's right there. It's there. You don't gotta unlock it or anything, it's there. The fundamentals of zombies have been removed from you. The new zombies experience is this. You see a portal. You go to the portal, and that immediately teleports you to a locked off area of the map in which you must complete an objective. This objective could be hold out for a period of time. It could be kill zombies, pick stuff up, and deposit it into a totem, for example. Or it'll be escort missions with a floating head for a period of time until it's done. Once this is all over, you will be rewarded with a huge amount of points and teleported back to the main area that you started, which is almost like a safe mode or a safe area in zombies, and then the round ticker goes up and the game gets harder. In this area, the middle ground Stalingrad area, you can spend your stuff freely with almost no fear of reprisal. Any idea where you have to be a little bit cautious about buying stuff because you always got zombies on you, that constant threat is gone. The zombies are only in the outskirts areas, defending items, unlocks, perks, etc. And they will only react if you go to them, fight them, and then get one of the literally only 2 voice lines the Nazi guy wants to give you. He has 2. Why does he have 2? But the thing is that in the safe area, once all the zombies are dead, I mean, they're dead. That's it. You have to go do another objective in order to continue your points gain. What makes this so much worse is they actually neutered the amount of points you gain from killing zombies. Back in the day, you know, way back in the day, it was 10 points per shot to the body, then 50 for the kill, 100 for a headshot kill, or about, I think, 130 for a knife. In Cold War, they changed this up, where you still got kills for regular precision and melee, but you didn't get points for just shooting them, but it worked out, because Cold War kind of changed up the financial formula a little bit. In Vanguard, shooting a zombie does not give you points, so it's like Cold War. Shooting a zombie in the body, however, will give you a grand total of, big drum roll, 20 points. 30 if it's a headshot. And now you're probably thinking, oh, well, you know, at least they probably changed the financial part of this. No! The perks and upgrades have gotten more expensive. Pack-a-Punch level 1 is 7,500, then 15,000, then 30,000. Perks, and we'll talk more about perks as well, have been getting more expensive in this variant, which we'll discuss when we talk about comparisons to Cold War. Basically, if you want to farm points, the only way I found out how to do that is to actually do the totem mission and just kill zombies for as long as you want, because you keep getting rewarded points. But the points are abysmal. 30 points for a headshot kill. 30. Which means if you want to get the same as an old school zombie headshot of 100, you need to kill 3.3 zombies per thing. And then you're going through ammo the entire time. And it's just boring. However, objectives give you big points, like 5,000, 7,000 points by completing them. So zombies are worth less, objectives are worth a ton, so you are being railroaded into doing nothing but constantly doing objectives and receiving a certain amount of points from it. Old strategy, 5 shots with a pistol to the body, knife in round 1, going and doing all the major headshot stuff with like a sniper rifle to conserve ammunition, or better yet, SMG that has low damage but high fire rate, so you get all those points on the stomach and whatever when you're shooting them, that kind of stuff, all gone. There is no strategy involved in the slightest. You need to go out there to the portal and you are forced to do all these objectives, because if you don't, you are a poor bitch. Okay, so the zombies experience is objective based now, and you're being railroaded on points. Well, what about the actual gameplay? Well, the gameplay is pretty simple. It's the classic zombies run at you, they get faster with time, and all that usual kind of stuff. However, I want to talk a little bit about the special zombies. The first one is an explosive type called like the Boomstrider or something like that. And it's actually pretty acceptable because it runs at you and it makes a very loud screeching noise, and when you shoot it, it blows up and it also hurts other zombies, so you can have a little bit of tactics with that. They're a little annoying, but the idea of the zombie is fine. The problem is that these guys can appear from anywhere. Back in the old zombies would come out of designated zones, either boarded up windows or other specific spots, right? In Cold War, they could basically come out of anywhere, but there was like a little bit of a time frame it took for them to actually get their way. They had to crawl through something, or they had to kind of crawl out of the ground, and then it would take them maybe about 2 seconds to actually become active and then want to go hit you. In Vanguard, they come out of areas like before, but now they can also teleport. They can come out of a dimensional rift immediately anywhere. So because of that, sometimes zombies will be popping out of portals, and then a Boomstrider will be like, life has many doors, Ed boy, and just immediately appear right next to me. And there's no wind up for their explosion. There's no animation. They just go boom. So randomly, I'm chilling. A Boomstrider just rips through the butthole of reality and immediately explodes all over my face. And I'm not even getting paid for it. But of course, we have armor. Remember armor, Cold War, armor, kind of a crutch, a little too strong, but armor, its own system, its own points value. Armor was a thing, and regardless of how strong it was a necessary evil for Cold War, and it really added to the gameplay formula. Now armor is back, but it seems that Infinity War, Treyarch, Sledgehammer, there's so many names in the beginning of this one, I don't even know who develops this game anymore. They deemed that armor was also too powerful, so they wanted ways to, whittle it down, make it a little bit less powerful. Introducing Zombie with a gun. Zombie with a minigun, that is. Now, we've had ranged zombies before, the Panzer Soldat or the Russian Manglers, but they normally have a thing with their stuff. They fire the electric bolts and then it kind of twirls into the air and then blows up later. There's a reaction. The sonic blast of the Mangler takes time to reach. There is counterplay. There is movement involved. This guy has a gun that shoots bullets at you, and he's tanky as shit. This zombie, I think his entire purpose is to shred you of your armor, to force you to use your scrap to keep buying armor, because it literally will fire at you from a distance with, I'm assuming, close to a hit scan weapon, and there is actually nothing you can do. And like I said, he's super tanky. Who thought adding a zombie with a gun was a good idea? This isn't a boss zombie. Like, this is a special. And this is not rare, like every 5 rounds, something like that. No. This is like the Napalm and Sonic zombies in Shangri-La. Like, every round at a certain point will have 2, 3, 4 of these guys. All that effort, learning how to train zombies, learning how to maneuver through areas, all of that. And they just gave a zombie a gun. Oh, it's particularly fun when you have to stay near the head, too, in that escort mission. And then the zombie's shooting you from really far away. I hope you didn't bring a shotgun. Okay. So you're being railroaded on points, armor is still a crutch, but how about progression? How about all that like background stuff? You're playing the game, you're earning XP, doing all that kind of stuff. How's that work? Because Cold War actually had a pretty deep progression system. I said many times in my Cold War Zombies review that the game is pretty good but lacks personality, and I think I stand by that. The maps aren't very pretty, the story is boring, and the operator voice lines are pretty awful, but the gameplay was actually pretty good. They made a bunch of changes compared to the old formula, but they worked. And even the times they didn't work, there was so much progression that you can work with. Your perks had like 5 different ways to be upgraded. Your weapons all had 5 different upgrades along with that. Your special abilities had upgrades. There was actually a pretty large amount of effort put into a consistent progression. And then you would grind the game, get the crystals, and then buff things out. It was on a player per player basis. as far as all of its issues were, that part, I liked it a lot. Did it make you a little bit overpowered at the end? Oh, totally. But at least you had to earn it, you know? So naturally, Vanguard did the very intelligent decision of removing all of that, and it's all gone. It's all gone. Can you upgrade your weapons and give them special benefits like Cold War? No. Can you upgrade your ability like Ether Shroud and stuff? No. Can you upgrade your perks? No. But don't worry, young grasshopper. They did the other idea, which is allowing you to buy your perks multiple times for the same effect. Perk 1, free. Then 2,500, then 5,000, then 7,500 every time you want to consistently buy a perk in-game without progression, and you're being railroaded on points because zombies are only worth 30 to the head, 20 to the body. So now there's no reason to play besides just getting your regular experience that you normally get. There's no upgrades, there's no extra anything. It's just all bare bones, but worse, because you don't get any points anymore from killing zombies just by the objectives, and the objectives are boring. And Pack-a-Punch. Yes, let's talk about that. So, you know how in Cold War, they actually added a new thing, which was a weapon variant, or like level-based system. It was actually pretty genius, and it added an additional dimension to the gameplay. So your weapons had 5 like ranks, kind of rarities, very similar to an MMO or anything. Red was actually the lowest one, and then it went the usual green, blue, purple, orange. And getting something to orange took a lot of your scrap, which was its own separate resource. However, at the time, it was pretty genius because then you could start the game with like an LMG, but it was only a level 1 LMG, so it really wasn't that great. But if you wanted to either hit the box for some higher rarity weapons or really put in the amount of resources to make that one special gun you spawned with your main gun, the options were there for you. Now, that was actually separate to Pack-a-Punch as well, because not only did you have rarity, but you had the Pack-a-Punch power, and so getting a good, like, orange weapon with triple pack, that thing would kick ass. And as I was rolling the box in Vanguard, I was noticing the color variants. I was like, oh, cool, they brought that back. Wow, was I wrong. The color variants are not actually rarities. Rarities are gone entirely. The color variants mean that the gun has already been pre-pack-a-punched. White is none, blue is packed once, purple twice, orange 3 times. Why would I grind through a game that railroads me on points, suffocates the amount I get from zombies, and actually costs more to pack-a-punch when I can literally get the exact same thing from the box? Also, what's worse, that there, what you're seeing, that's a triple packed gun. Probably thinking to yourself, where's the camo? There is no camo. It's gone. All it does is have a little red muzzle flare and a slightly pew-pew noise. There's no camo. There's no Pack-a-Punch camo. There's just a little icon on the bottom. That's it. I'm not older than 35. I don't violently come when I see an MP40. Give it the goddamn cool little light show. That's all I ask. So you have an inferior gameplay loop, a lack of progression, you're railroaded on points, the customization's gone. Is anything else better? Not really. The voice acting is really not that great. Sometimes they're okay, some of the demons are neat, and if there's anything that I will give it some credit on is that its art direction's a little bit better. I like the chalices for the perks instead, kind of cool. The demon idea is kind of neat. It's got a little bit more personality, but the voice acting is just so poor. It's so poor. Besides some of the demons, the characters aren't great. The operators suck. Oh my god, they're so bad. I can't believe we went from Nikolai to this. And why? What am I doing? You decided to take Outbreak because I guess 5 people liked Outbreak and turned it into the entire mode. I didn't like Cold War. I didn't enjoy Cold War. I don't think it was a great game, but I had fun with the zombies. It was okay. It wasn't Black Ops 3. It wasn't Black Ops 2 or 1 or World of War, but it was okay. You know, it had promise. Outbreak I thought kind of sucked, but it had promise. And this is just like I'm sad. I guess this just leaves me with a final question, which is, what happened? Activision's stock has been tanking recently. The only thing that Activision is better at than delaying games is abusing women, and I think their share prices are finally starting to catch up with them. Modern Warfare 2019 was lightning in a bottle. It had a long development time, it looked good, it sounded good, the campaign was decent, Spec Ops didn't like that much, but the gameplay was surprisingly solid. It worked out really well. I'm not a huge fan of Warzone myself, but it peaked. And now it feels like we're getting Modern Warfare 2019 with a coat of 80s paint and now a coat of World War II paint. In fact, it actually probably is exactly that because they need to keep the Warzone stuff up. The old days, COD had a 2-year cycle studio at Modern Warfare and then Black Ops and then Modern Warfare 3, I think is what it was, and then Black Ops 2. It had a 2-year cycle, and then Sledgehammer came along and it had a 3-year cycle. And that was, in that period of time, people were a little bit iffy on the games. You know, that was like around the Advanced Warfare Black Ops 3 period of time. But that 3-year cycle helped. It really did. It gave it a lot more polish. Call of Duty was always a game that, for all of its problems, for all of its issues, and whether you liked it or not, it was decently polished. And it had a lot of content. Had a full campaign, a multiplayer, and the extra side mode. And it was generally well polished. It looked good. It ran well. It was normally pretty good at that stuff. Now, I feel like I'm seeing the death rattle of a company. Activision Blizzard, for all their money, feels creatively malnourished, no matter how gross Bobby Harkonnen looks. You know, the campaign and multiplayer might be better, and it might be pretty decent, but I don't believe it. I just don't believe them. This looks like Modern Warfare again, with a new coat of paint again. I know that the developers of this game can do better. They have done better. I don't know if it's massive crunch, if the cycles are all messed up, if the internal problems with the company are catching up to them, if it's just them trying to ride out the amount of money. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But it truly feels like this company is on its spiral down to like death. And while I'm really sad about the workers that work there, and I really like wish them the best for their job, kind of good. Activision Blizzard has so far from the heyday with that beautiful eyeball and the big spike in it. It is far from the greatness that they used to be in, and maybe some things should just put them out of their misery. Don't buy this game, honestly. I spent my money so I could tell you not to. It is an embarrassment. And for someone who has generally liked most Call of Duty games, just because I like that kind of formula, fuck this. I'm gonna go play Halo Infinite. At least some company looks like they have a modicum of knowing what the fuck they're doing. Damn, that made me angry. It's like watching your favorite thing just get abused by people who have no idea what the hell they're doing. There's a market for Call of Duty style zombies, I'm telling you what. There's some people out there who probably should jump on that opportunity, some kind of endless wave-based zombies like that, because Back 4 Blood isn't doing that great right now, and there's a damn market for that. So we'll see. We'll absolutely see. Thank you everyone for watching. However, hope you're doing great. Please check out the merchandise store, orchidate.com. Check it out in the description, or check out my sponsor GamerSups. 10% off using code Bricky. Pretty great if you ever have a hard time quitting like soda. I think it's a pretty fantastic option. As for me, I have some questions I'd like to answer. It feels kind of weird changing moods this quick, but oh my God, of course the questions are stupid again. Finally, okay, what do you think about where you should draw the line between having tastes and elitism? Okay, excellent, a real question. The line between having particular tastes and this form of elitism is determining whether or not you believe your tastes are superior than other people. I occasionally have this problem just because taste is really subjective, obviously. Like, you know me, I like very artsy stuff, very, very slow-paced movies, games, all that kind of thing. And I generally would assume that if your favorite movie is Transformers 2, I would, in a sense, think less of you. That, in a sense, is elitism, right there, what I just said. But I also think there's a level and people treat it a little bit poorly. Like, if you don't like Drive with Ryan Gosling, fine, totally get it, no problems. It's a bit of an artsy movie. If I were to say you don't like Drive because you're not intelligent enough, we have a whole different situation here. Respecting people's tastes is one thing. I do think there's a level. If you said that Super Mario Brothers was your favorite movie of all time, I would probably think a little less of you. But generally, it's not shaming people for not liking something. I think a little bit as well. If that's like not their thing, all right, totally cool, makes sense, no problems. That's, I guess, the best way I can describe it. I don't know. It's weird. I'll see you next time. Bye.